everyone, my name is April and this is Thrifted Transformations, the show where I go thrifting for old clothing and transform them into something new. In this episode, I found this black dress right here, and what really stood out to me was the crisscrossy drapey design in the front right here, which I think is still really trendy. The only thing I think is outdated is the style of the skirt. So while I was at the thrift store, I was looking for a long black skirt to add on to it, and I got really lucky and I found this black chiffon skirt right here. I'm really excited to transform both of these items, so let's get started. This dress has a halter top design that I don't really like, so I'm thinking about getting rid of it and adding a different strap design, but first I want to make the back of the dress come down a little lower. To change the shape of the back, I have to seam rip the sides along the top, so when I lower the back, I can blend it into the original hemline. After seam ripping the sides a little bit, I mark how low I want the back to be and cut out the new design. Next, I shortened the length of the dress because I'm going to be adding a longer skirt on top of it anyways, and now we can reuse the extra material for something else. I'm cutting down the center back of the dress because I need to add a zipper later, and now I'm going to sew some elastic along the top to add some stability to the back since the material is super stretchy and thin. After sewing the elastic along the top, I can try on the dress and mark the back to fit me. I suggest you have someone help you mark because it's very challenging trying to do it yourself. Once the back is fitted on me, I trim away the extra fabric and add in the zipper. And after the zipper is sewn, I can fold under the zipper tape on top and hem the back of the dress. This is why adding the elastic along the back is important, because as you can see, the fabric will want to wrinkle as you sew. This is also happening because I folded the seam allowance more than the size of my elastic, so just make sure to fold the hem allowance so that the elastic creates a nice smooth line at the fold and makes it easier for you to sew. Moving on to the skirt, the awesome thing about this is that it has 3 layers of chiffon to work with. For the sake of time, I won't be seam ripping all of the layers apart, so I'm just going to cut it. So now I have the top layer chiffon, which is more sheer and flowy, and the 2 layers underneath are a lot heavier. Since there's 2 layers of the heavier chiffon, I'm going to gather both of them to create the skirt. To gather the skirt, sew 2 rows of basting along the top and then pull on the bobbin threads to gather it. Once the 2 skirts are gathered to fit the waist, we can sew the 2 layers onto each side of the dress. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I want a split down the center front. Sewing the chiffon skirt onto the stretchy dress was the most challenging part because there are 2 different types of fabric. So what I did was just place markings around the waist and stretch the dress as I sewed down the skirt. Now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this last chiffon layer. I was thinking about just gathering it and adding it to the back to create a train, but the length of it wasn't long enough for that. So after a lot of brainstorming and trying out different designs, I decided to tack down the top corners of the skirt to the center back, and for the rest of the skirt, I'm just going to let it drape, but I'm going to sew an elastic ring at the ends so the skirt flows and moves with my hands. Now we can finish up the back design. Taking the leftover pieces from the dress, I cut out 2-inch strips and sew down 4 loops along the back. Then, using the bottom of the dress I trimmed away earlier, I cut out 2 long strips and add them to the ends of the halter straps to create 2 very long straps. Lastly, I tried on the dress and played around with some back designs. Here is the final transformation. Since the straps are super long, it gives me the option to tie them into a few different designs, and whatever I have left over, I just wrap around my waist and tuck it underneath. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't seen the last episode, you can click here. And for more thrifted transformations, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye!